The year is 2009, a year that would forever be etched into the collective memory of Bradford, England. The city of Bradford, England, shivers under a cloud of dread. The once bustling streets now lie eerily silent, as if the city itself is holding its breath. A string of disappearances has cast a long shadow over the community. Families are torn apart by worry, and friends gather in small groups, their conversations tinged with fear and uncertainty. Whispers of a monster in their midst circulate in hushed tones. The fear is palpable, a living entity that seems to grow with each passing day. The victims, young women on the fringes of society, vanish without a trace. These women, often overlooked and marginalized, become the silent faces of a growing nightmare. Fear, palpable and suffocating, seeps into the very fabric of daily life. People lock their doors earlier, look over their shoulders more frequently, and the once vibrant nightlife of Bradford dwindles to a mere whisper. Then, a gruesome discovery shatters the uneasy peace. The city, already on edge, is plunged into a deeper abyss of horror. The investigation into a missing woman, Suzanne Blamires, leads police to a nondescript apartment building at 33 Thornton Road. This unassuming location would soon become infamous. Inside Flat 5, a scene of unimaginable horror awaits. The apartment, cluttered and dimly lit, holds secrets that would chill even the most seasoned investigators. The apartment, home to 40-year-old Stephen Griffiths, becomes a chilling testament to the depths of human depravity. Griffiths, a man who seemed ordinary to his neighbours, harboured a darkness that defied comprehension. It is here, within these walls, that the true extent of Griffith's crimes will be laid bare. The evidence collected paints a picture of a man driven by a terrifying compulsion. The discovery sends shockwaves through the nation. News outlets scramble to cover the unfolding horror, and the name Stephen Griffiths becomes synonymous with evil. The Crossbow Cannibal case, as it will soon be known, becomes synonymous with unimaginable cruelty and darkness. The moniker, derived from Griffiths' weapon of choice, adds a macabre twist to an already horrifying tale. The investigation uncovers a chilling pattern of violence. Each piece of evidence, each testimony, reveals a methodical and calculated predator. Griffiths targeted vulnerable women, often sex workers, luring them to their deaths with a chilling blend of charisma and menace. His ability to mask his true intentions made him all the more dangerous. He preyed on their desperation, their trust easily broken by a promise of safety or a moment of fleeting human connection. His victims, seeking solace, found only terror. The city of Bradford watches in horror as the full scope of the tragedy unfolds, forever marked by the shadow of the Crossbow Cannibal. The community, once vibrant and hopeful, now grapples with the scars left by Griffiths' reign of terror. The lives Griffith stole were young, vibrant and filled with unrealized potential. These were individuals who had dreams, aspirations and futures that were cruelly cut short. They were sons, daughters, friends and loved ones, each with their own unique stories and contributions to the world. Suzanne Blamires, just 36 years old at the time of her disappearance, becomes tragically intertwined with Griffith's reign of terror. She was a woman with a bright smile and a kind heart, known for her generosity and warmth. Her sudden disappearance left a void in the lives of those who knew her, but she was not his only victim. Griffiths' malevolent reach extended far and wide, ensnaring multiple women in his deadly grasp. Each victim had a story, a life and a family that was left to grapple with the horror of their loss. Shelley Armitage, a 31-year-old fighting to overcome addiction, also vanished into the night. Despite her struggles, Shelley was a person with hopes and dreams, striving for a better future. Her disappearance was a devastating blow to her family, who had been supporting her through her journey. Her family, clinging to hope, endured an agonizing wait for answers, only to be met with the devastating confirmation of her fate. The pain of losing Shelley was compounded by the uncertainty and fear that gripped them during her disappearance. The youngest victim, snatched away at the tender age of 15, serves as a chilling reminder of the indiscriminate nature of Griffiths' cruelty. This young girl, full of innocence and promise, had her life brutally stolen before it even had a chance to truly begin. Plunged into the depths of despair, Her family grapples with the unimaginable, their lives irrevocably shattered by her loss. The grief of losing a child is a pain that no parent should ever have to endure, and the impact of her death rippled through the community. Each victim, distinct in life, becomes tragically bound together in death. Their stories, though unique, share a common thread of senseless violence and loss. They are remembered not just as victims, but as individuals who were loved and cherished. Their stories, etched into the annals of true crime, serve as a haunting reminder of the vulnerability of innocence in the face of pure evil. The crime scenes, now silent, echo with the memories of the lives that were taken there. Their disappearances, once shrouded in mystery, become terrifyingly clear. The truth of their fates, once hidden in the shadows, is now laid bare for all to see, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. Griffiths, a predator lurking in the shadows, deliberately targeted those living on society's margins. He exploited their vulnerabilities, preying on their trust and desperation, and leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. He saw them not as human beings deserving of dignity and respect, but as easy prey, their lives disposable in his twisted game of death. The impact of his actions is a stark reminder of the importance of protecting and valuing every human life, regardless of their circumstances. The air inside Flat 5 is thick with the metallic scent of blood, a chilling testament to the horrors that unfolded within those walls. The small, cluttered space reveals itself not as a home, but as a macabre abattoir, littered with the tools of a depraved killer. Bloodstains, impossible to ignore, mar the walls and floors, silent screams frozen in time. The investigators, hardened professionals accustomed to the darkest corners of humanity, are nevertheless sickened by what they uncover. In the bathroom, amidst the grime and disarray, a horrifying discovery stops them in their tracks. Body parts, carefully dismembered and stored in plastic containers, paint a gruesome picture of Griffiths' modus operandi. The sheer brutality of it all is difficult to comprehend. The evidence points to a level of premeditation and cold-bloodedness that chills even the most seasoned detectives to the bone. The full extent of Griffith's depravity unfolds with each passing moment. Among the grim inventory of human remains, forensic evidence reveals another chilling detail: traces of human flesh found in his refrigerator. This discovery confirms the unthinkable. Stephen Griffiths is not merely a murderer, he is a cannibal. A chilling symbol of Griffiths' brutality takes centre stage in the investigation: a crossbow. This weapon, often seen in historical reenactments or as a collector's item, now stands as a grim testament to the horrors that unfolded in Flat 5. The crossbow, with its sleek design and deadly precision, was not just a tool, but a weapon of terror in Griffith's hands. This medieval weapon, typically associated with hunting and sport, takes on a sinister significance in the confines of Flat 5. Its presence in the crime scene adds a layer of medieval brutality to the modern-day horror, making the acts committed even more chilling. It becomes a symbol of his power, a tool used to inflict unimaginable pain and suffering. The crossbow, with its ability to deliver silent but deadly force, allowed Griffiths to dominate and control his victims, turning his apartment into a chamber of horrors. The crossbow bolts, recovered from the apartment and the bodies of his victims, speak to the sheer force and violence employed by Griffiths. Each bolt, meticulously examined by forensic experts, tells a story of calculated cruelty and cold-blooded execution. Investigators believe he used the crossbow to subdue his victims, firing bolts into their bodies with chilling precision. The methodical nature of these attacks suggests a premeditated plan where each shot was aimed to incapacitate and instill fear. The wounds, consistent with a weapon designed to kill quickly and efficiently, highlight the calculated nature of his attacks. The medical examiner's reports detail the devastating impact of the bolts, which were designed to cause maximum damage upon entry. There's no struggle evident, only the cold, brutal efficiency of a predator ending the lives of his prey. The lack of defensive wounds on the victims indicates that they were taken by surprise, unable to defend themselves against the sudden and lethal assault. The crossbow, once an instrument of recreation, becomes forever tainted by its association with Griffiths' crimes. It is now a piece of evidence locked away in a police evidence locker, a silent witness to the atrocities committed. It serves as a stark reminder of the ease with which everyday objects can be transformed into instruments of death when wielded by a depraved mind. The juxtaposition of the crossbow with everyday household items underscores the horror of its use in such a domestic setting. The image of the crossbow, silent and deadly, becomes seared into the public consciousness, a haunting symbol of the darkness that visited Bradford. It stands as a grim reminder of the potential for violence that lurks within the shadows of our society, forever marking the memory of those who fell victim to its deadly force.